Hi everyone, it's time for another K&E video. Today we're going to be doing the mid-year book Freakout tag, and there are like a bunch of really fun questions about like the books we've recently read, and we'll answer them and let's see how it goes. So the first one is best book you've read so far in 2021. And for me it is The Stationery Shop of Tehran by Marjan Kamali. And this was such a beautiful book. There was no like heightened reality or high drama. It was just almost like being in a meditative state. It was just a very, very beautiful, relaxing book. It's a love story in a time of chaos. So really, really wonderful book.
My best read of this year so far, I think I'm getting predictable,
Yeah.
is A Court of Silver Flames, which is the book 4 in the Court of Thorns and Roses series. And this is the story of Feyre's sister Nesta and Cassian, and it is as engrossing as the previous books.
Can't wait to read. Okay, best sequel you read so far. Okay, so I think it's the same for both of us.
Yes.
So
Definitely.
may you bring the
Do the honors.
Do the honors.
That would be A Court of Mist and Fury, which
Yeah.
is book 2
Yeah.
in the Court of Thorns and Roses.
Yeah, and we fight over Rysand, so that's the level we're at right now. So usually sequels are never as good as the original.
Yeah.
And this was like a huge exception.
I actually think this is even better than the first
100%.
book.
100%.
Yeah,
And that's a tough feat to accomplish.
Yeah,
so
for
you
sure.
guys, this is one of those series where at least the second book is better than the first. So we love A Court of Thorns and Roses. We stand by it through the criticisms. Read it. The next question, a new release you haven't read yet but want to. For me, it's The Secret Keeper of Jaipur. It's by Alka Joshi, who we love, and who wrote The Henna Artist, which was kind of, I think, like the most trending book of last year. And it's a beautiful book about, you know, resilience and kind of a woman kind of coming into her own, and it's got a lot of feminist themes, and it's really, really wonderful. So I really enjoyed it.
So a new release that I want to read is Detransition Baby, and this was longlisted for the Women's Prize for Fiction for this year. And I really don't know too much about it, but I've just heard that it's very good and it's received a lot of
reviews.
acclaim.
Yeah.
Not just on Bookstagram, but
I think, in general. This
general,
is a pretty famous book. So
so I'm looking forward to this one.
Cool. Okay, the next question. The most anticipated release. For me, it's actually this book called The Nature of Middle-earth by J.R. Tolkien. Apparently, it's all these kind of previously unpublished short stories which shed some more light on Middle-earth and on the hobbits. And
nice.
I think it's going to be pretty cool, so I'm really looking forward to that.
Okay. The release I have been anticipating is The Maidens by Alex Michaelides, and he is the author of The Silent Patient, which everyone
So
has
good.
read. Is
So good.
popular. We have so many copies.
If you're in a reading slump,
you
that's
should
the
read
book
that.
which is going to get you out of the reading slump.
I mean, people are
Yeah.
still checking that book out, and it's from I think a year or more than a year
Totally,
ago.
and we have, I think we have like over 10 copies, and they're always checked out. So The Silent Patient, if you guys haven't read that, read it, and this
then-
should be good as well.
You can read this after I'm done.
Yes. Okay, moving on. The biggest surprise. Okay, so for me, it's this book called The Push, and I didn't know much about the book getting into it. Oh yeah, we have it. Oh my god. That's crazy. I promise we
clearly
didn't
didn't
plan
discuss.
this.
Yeah.
I promise we didn't. Great minds think alike. So yeah, so this is and I mean, trigger warning for disturbing parent-child relationship, but I swear this is one of those get under the cover, stay up late, can't put this down. I read it I think in like a day or two.
I mean, this reminded me of
Crazy.
We Need to Talk About Kevin, which is a
Yeah.
book that
Yeah.
I really liked it, and
Yeah.
even though it was so
So
disturbing,
disturbing.
and it makes you reassess everything as a parent.
Absolutely.
So I thought this might be a little bit of a, coming in second,
Yeah.
but this book really holds its
It was
own. I was
excellent.
surprised, and
Yeah.
I think we finished it maybe
Yes.
a day or two.
Absolutely.
It was
so
really good.
this was like a huge surprise and highly recommended. Next book we have favorite new author. So for me, I think I just read this. It's called The Divines, by Ellie Eaton. And again, didn't know much about this book going in, and it's like Gossip Girl meets murder mystery, and it's a bunch of kind of rich, mean boarding school girls, and if you're poor or if you're uncool, God help you. So it was a good read for me.
So the next question is our newest fictional crush, and mine would again have to be Rhysand from A Court of Mist and Fury.
No, mine would have to be Rhysand from A Court of Mist.
So we can discuss.
You're gonna
it,
fight me? Are we sharing? Like, what's happening? Okay.
You can take what is it, Azriel and
And Tamlin. Okay,
Yes,
no.
yes.
What? Yeah. He's Mr. Darcy is being displaced
Yeah,
for
there's
me.
competition now.
Yeah, he
Yes.
does. Yeah.
Okay, then our newest favorite character. So I mean, my newest favorite character isn't that new, but it is Feyre from A Court of Thorns and Roses. I haven't enjoyed reading about a female character as much as I've enjoyed reading about her. I mean, she's feminine, she's feminist, she has grit, she's soft, she's tender, and she's good fun to read.
She is good fun to read, and she kicks ass. Yeah.
Yes.
So my new favorite characters are from the Chain of Gold by Cassandra Clare. This is my first Shadow Hunters novel, and I'm falling in love with Cordelia Carstairs and Lucy Herondale, and they're really cool, and it's 19th century England, and they're in gowns and corsets, and yet like the Shadow Hunters, and they fight demons and they kick ass, and they don't take crap from anyone, and so they are super cool, and absolutely loving them and loving them.
Okay, so the next one is a book that made you cry, and that for me was A Little Life by Hanya Yanagihira. It's a very, very heavy read. It's a very
So I
painful
hear,
read.
yeah.
This book doesn't leave you. I mean, the way that it makes you feel stays with you, and whenever you think about the book, you can immediately go back to that atmosphere that she's created. But it's so beautifully written, and the characters are all so likable that it doesn't, the heaviness of the book doesn't detract from the skill at which she's written it.
For me, I just finished Between Two Kingdoms by Sulekha Jawad, and it's a memoir of this girl who gets cancer at the age of 22 and her journey, and it's about friendship and resilience and love and the power of the human spirit. So it's really beautiful, and it really made me cry.
Next we have a book that made you happy, and for me that book is Carry On by Rainbow Rowell. I love Rainbow Rowell.
She's great.
I've read all of her books 2-3 times over, but this one is about Simon and Baz, who are extremely likable, lovable characters, and their story is just really cute and endearing. Makes you feel good.
So mine is also a very cute book. It's Anxious People by Frederick Backman, and I mean, it's such a cute book. It's like a comedy of errors, and it's like so much chaos, and there's this like kind of ensemble cast of characters, and they're so hilarious.
Our book club also
Yes,
loved
we
it.
did it for our book club, and
Yeah.
it was like unanimously everyone loved it, and very few books make you laugh out loud. I was actually laughing hysterically while reading that book. So Anxious People, you guys, you must read it. Love it.
So next we have the most beautiful book you've bought or received this year. So I took that to mean aesthetically, like visually.
Yeah.
And you guys know by now I do buy books based on the cover. So I think this is just gorgeous. The Betrayals by Bridget Collin. I also bought this because her other book, The Binding, is actually very good, and the cover is as beautiful. This one I haven't gotten to reading.
It's really beautiful. I don't have any beautiful books that I bought this year, so let's move on.
Pause, sorry. Get your clothes down. I don't know why I'm whispering.
Okay, so the most beautiful book that I possess in general in life is the Penguin cloth bound Pride and Prejudice. Isn't it stunning? Look how beautiful it is. So I want to get the entire series and the entire collection when I have lots of money. So yeah, that's it for me.
And finally, what book do we need to read by the end of the year? Mine is a very light choice, but it's this thriller that's apparently very popular. It's The Dinner Guest. And this is also
very
one
popular.
of those Bookstagram purchases that's been
Absolutely.
everywhere. So yeah.
May You Hand Me Silver Flames.
Yes, I insist you read this.
I have to read this, okay, by the end of the year, but it's so daunting. Look at the size. I promise, get to it. Finally, we will have finished the series, and then what will we do
Until the
with
next
our
one.
lives? Yeah.
No, then we have her, that House of Earth and Fire.
Earth and Blood.
Earth and Blood.
Okay, yes, Sarah J.
Yes.
Maas. She's coming up in, I think, soon. The second part is
Yes.
releasing.
The
Crescent
second-
City.
yes, the
Crescent
sequel to
City,
that.
which is The House of Earth and Blood by Sarah J. Maas. By the way, another excellent book, and that's also like as thick as this. Superb. Read that also. So that, you guys, that was our book tags for this year. And if you guys want to send in yours, please do so. And if you have any recommendations for us for the rest of the year, please send in those as well.
Let
Take
us know
care.
in the comments.
Yes, and Eid Mubarak to everyone.
Eid Mubarak.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye.